How did you get together, and like, how do you understand Mike since you've got like different tastes?
It was crazy. I met Mike when I was working at this studio on 23rd and Park Avenue, and he came in to do this project, the Mike Tyler album, first album, and he was very organized, and he had like all the lyric sheets and everything, and I really got into the actual written of his work before I even knew that he was a writer and stuff like that. I was really intrigued with his writing.
So, Bl'EVE, you would say you're a musician, but I'm wondering whether, Mike, do you feel that you're more a poet or a musician?
It's a really good question. I think I was thinking about this today, that one thing I know I am is that it's difficult to categorize me, just in general, even outside of that question. And I think I kind of like that.
Right.
Sometimes you could say, oh, we expected this, but we got that. That's not even me. Because it's kind of, I expected this, I got a little of that, and I also got this other thing. And then my favorite word is both.
Right, okay.
So, I would say I'm both, yeah.
Right, okay. I was told that you get really nervous before gigs. This is why I'm here doing the interview now. The day before. And you get really weird after the gig. And I was wondering, like, if you could give me an example of you being all weird and stuff.
Well, I have a tendency to give things away. I mean, this is a particularly painful story in my own family life because my mom gave me a shirt once. This goes long. And then after some show, I guess I strewn my clothes all over the floor of the performance, and then I said, anybody wants these clothes, go ahead. You know what I mean? So then I had no clothes on, essentially, and then everybody was wearing my clothes. And then I remember afterwards I was kind of signing things, and this girl had my shirt on, and I saw the shirt. My mom gave me this shirt. I was thinking to myself, I need to get this shirt back. I couldn't get it back from her. And my mom's mad at me to this day.
So, Bl'EVE, I read you found your like foundations in music through like playing percussion first of all, and then you developed into doing digital work.
Yeah.
So what do you think sets apart somebody that makes music on the computer, and then what is a musician? What's the difference?
What's the difference to me? Because I think it's like objective, But for me, at first, I was kind of doing both. Like I was using like this really weird program called Mod Plug Tractor, and it was just like you take samples and like you put that into the grid with the MIDI like sequence, and it start making noise and all of that stuff. So I was doing that while I was playing the drums. So it was just like the digital world is just like it's a real stiff place, and you kind of got to make it what you want to make it. And like when you're playing percussion, you want to be tight, but you don't want to be stiff. It's just kind of like you kind of like feeling the groove. So for me, I just look at it like the only difference is within digital. If you just let the computer do what it wants to do, it has no personality. You kind of gotta go in there and give it the personality. It's kind of like, I guess, scripting. You got to, instead of it 1 2 1 2, you might want it 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then now it gives it this life, and then that's how you identify. Because if you sat down on like Reason software and you just put in drums, or you just put in drums and I put in the same drums, it would sound exactly the same. But if I put in the drums and then I start moving stuff around to get it how I like it to feel, it's just like, oh, that's how Bl'EVE stuff sounds, Whereas when you're playing the instrument, it's kind of easier to fall into that. And that's what I would say the difference is with the two.
Right then, so Mike, what I'm wondering as well, like, how do you feel about Banksy piggybacking off one of your lines, "Only ridiculous survive," which you spray painted outside London Paddington Station?
Felt great. It was, I think it's some whatever word you want there. His book, that's all around, has some lyrics from mine too, and he says it in it. So all power to him. You know what I'm saying? I love his work.
Did he ask you before doing it, or you just went ahead?
No, it just happens. Yeah. So no, it's great. It's beautiful for me.
Do you think you could be the Babe Ruth of poetry?
Careful.
Well, yeah, I do actually.
So why?
Yeah. I guess it goes again to this thing about contradictions or paradoxes. People usually think about a poet as being kind of sort of, fearing everything and sort of alone in a corner. You know what I mean? I kind of like the idea of, hitting home runs, reading poetry. Yeah, absolutely. Having some power to it without losing, like, the loneliness and the weirdness. And, I mean, poetry touches the intimate place we are when we're ourselves, But it also gives a voice to it. That can have some power. So, yeah, boom.
How would you respond to like a music review that would state Mike Tyler's Erection fell so fast?
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose as always, I'm of two minds. The first mind probably is the wrong thing to say. You know what I mean? But I might. I'm not single at the moment, but probably if I was single, I would have called that person up and asked her out. Because to me, I don't know why it's an invitation somehow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know, but like when you're a guy, sometimes girls can be really mad at you or really say something about you, and you kind of feel for some reason maybe you're stupid, but you think, they like me. That's kind of what I feel about that.
So, Bl'EVE, has working with Mike changed the way that you might approach making an album?
Yeah, it changed a lot because when I started working with Mike, we did a lot of work in the Art Cannot Be Damaged cave, and that's in the East Village. So once I started going down to the East Village a lot, I was more so being like Gramercy Park, Midtown, Chelsea, but you go down there and it's like these cool little bars that play this music. I think they call it like dream pop or something, but they play this